So you're my designer.
So
you're
I'm
my
your
web
designer.
designer. How cool is that? And you've done both
It's so
for me.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think having done both, like, iterations of it has really been, like, an enriching experience because I've never done that with anybody before. And it's so cool feeling like you really understand the person behind it, right? And as the person evolves, your understanding of them evolves. Your maturity, like for me, my maturity as a designer is evolving. And I see the difference in that, like point A to point B. Like if the first version of your website was point A, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do you express somebody? How do you get a sense of their style, their character, their personality, and translate it visually?
Mm-hmm.
And seeing that as you have a deeper understanding, a lot of times it's actually simpler, like things are simplified. So at first it felt like, okay, there's all these bells and whistles, and like we don't want to miss anything, and have it be very literal in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what shifted is having a deeper sense of you, like as a person, as a friend. And through that, like that exploration and learning comes more subtlety.
Mm. What brought you into design to begin with?
It was an interesting journey because I've always been very interested in human nature and creative expression. So in college I studied social sciences up through my junior year. So I loved anthropology, psychology, social work, everything like that. And then I took one art class and was like, whoa, there's this whole other aspect of myself that I haven't explored at all.
You didn't start doing art until college?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God. I had no
And
idea.
and even then it was, halfway through my junior year. So I spent a year and a half just taking art classes because I had covered all my other requirements as far as for a social science major. So I was pretty much a double major between art and social sciences.
So we're friends.
Yeah.
So when you were doing my website, was your experience of doing the site, like what was your process in designing what you designed and what you came up with? Because the whole thing is your idea. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said I wanted something simple and I wanted something with like a clean white background and a black and white against lots of color.
Right.
And you came up with what you came up with, which is, I think, stunning.
Yeah, thank
you. Yeah, I love it. I love it. So what was your process in that?
I think a big part of it, especially for me because I don't have programming experience, is finding the combination between what already exists and what is there like a need for.
Right.
Like what are we looking for and what exists that we can customize, mm-hmm. visually speaking. So a lot of times I do work from existing templates mm-hmm. that can then be just subtly customized based on what the person's looking for. So
the design aspect to it, like the pink backsplash with the black and white and everything like
mm-hmm.
that, what was that? How did you come to that?
Well, I think...
like the watercolor
kind of feel. Like knowing you, it seemed like a fit. I think about your love for travel, your love of performance. There's an eclectic feel, and it's at the same time like a bohemian sort of feel to it and to you. And also just spending time around you, knowing how you like to design your spaces. Mm-hmm. And I think having that experience of you makes it so much easier to it just falls into place in a certain way. Mm-hmm.
What is your, mission, I guess, if you had to wrap it up into one thing for the work that you do? Like, why do you make what you make? What's your hope to accomplish with it?
It's a good question. I think that's one thing that I've never really been very intentional with. Mm-hmm. So I think my mission is to figure out how it relates to me more closely. Like, figure out how everything I'm doing is an extension of me. Mm-hmm. Because I do so many diverse things in my life that they don't all feel related. Mm-hmm. And so if I could see better how my art and design relates to my interest in, Jness and women's groups, and how that relates to introspection and pushing on my fears and my limitations, and they feel very different right now. And I feel like as I get older, they're starting to move closer together, but I don't yet see the full picture of how they all relate. And so I think that feels in some ways like my challenge is to take more ownership of everything I do and see how it is me, and how there is me in everything.
Right. Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, love. That's awesome.
Yeah.